The Riverside area has great people that live in there, of all the levels of socioeconomic status.
The greatest assets in the area are the people.
The people, it's not like anywhere else.
And here I see my family. It's like it look like I'm in Mexico right now.
Young to old, every ethnic background, every cultural background there is.
I like the diversity and I like being close to downtown.
The location, it's a prime location where we're at. The airport, international airport at this end of Riverside, and at this end we've got downtown.
Some of the most beautiful views of downtown Austin are from the hills of Montopolis coming in.
The natural beauty of this area, the hills and the mature trees.
It's close to Lady Bird Lake, the hike and bike trail, the Central Business District and UT.
And there's a lot of good food over there because of the diversity.
I find a lot of Latino food.
I love the flavor, I love the culture, I love the people.
It feels like home.
That is something that you don't see probably in other areas here in Austin.
And so just the area itself has a lot of positive benefits to it, positive attributes to it. Hopefully with this project we can make it as safe as possible to improve that. When you review the amount of violent crime and property crime in the Riverside area and compare it to citywide stats, there's a disproportionately higher percentage of those crimes in the Riverside area.
Riverside is the most high crime area in the entire city.
Property crime seems to be definitely the biggest concern that I have noticed.
Car burglaries at night.
Property crime all over the place. Your shoplifting is really big.
A desire to fuel an addiction could be potentially driving the robberies that happen in this area.
There's a lot of stolen vehicles, and there's also a lot of burglaries in both residential neighborhoods as well as the apartment complexes.
Worry about the most is robbery, with people around me.
Violent crime is very temporal in this area. It increases dramatically at night.
The Riverside area has always had a higher than average robbery of individual count than other parts of the city.
Yeah, it's every day. And it's just a matter of when is it going to happen. Not if, it's just when.
I worry a lot about the small businesses. That's my biggest worry is for them. Maybe somebody goes in there and assaults them because they know that they are running on a cash-only service.
Challenges of conducting business in this area are the crime.
Robos a pequeños negocios como nosotros. Regularmente los pequeños negocios somos los más castigados. Asalto a mano armada. Han llegado y quebrado las puertas para entrar de noche.
A lot of the local businesses will get robbed during the daytime hours.
There is high drug use and drug sales that go on in the area, and I think that drives a lot of the crime as well, both violent and property crimes.
I feel safe enough to come out by myself and everything, but there are some issues about the homeless and stuff like that. They get a little handsy if you don't give them money, so that I'm kind of concerned about.
We have a lot of homeless in the area.
I feel like the homeless used to live in the woods in these unpopulated areas that were not have buildings before.
This here is a product of the homelessness issue that's in this area. It's widespread, and we do our best to address it, but basically we move them around.
And now they're being pushed out into the streets, so we're finding them a lot more in open public areas, such as at street corners, on the sides of buildings.
Because you see people begging for money and sell drugs and stuff like that. It's what I don't like here. Especially over in the tunnel. You know the tunnels over there? People live in the tunnel. It's ugly in there.
There are little tunnels that are supposed to be drainage areas, and there are actual homeless camps set up in there where they have built walls that divide off parts of it. They stay there overnight, and then they're coming out. They're cleaning cars over there, which in and of itself, not the worst thing in the world, but disputes arise because of that, as well as drug use.
It's complicated because a lot of these subjects also have drug issues and emotionally disturbed persons or mental health issues as well on top.
They have mentally unstable, problems,
and you don't really know what they're going to do or how they're going to react to things at times.
So we have a narcotics issue with people who are on the street. Specifically, the big one that's been the last couple of years has been synthetic cannabinoids, referred to as K2, Kush, etc.
So which makes them really paranoid and excited and gets their heart rate really going. When people see that, we get tons of calls on it. They don't know what's wrong with these people, or they're going to be passed out at a bus stop or on the ground.
I know there have been problems with meth and meth users and hanging out in the parks, drug houses with drug dealing happening in them.
Aside from the issues that we're already experiencing as a community, which domestic violence is huge here. It is very big because there's a lot of people living with people that they don't want to live with because they can't afford to move out.
Just because we have so many apartments, so many college students, so many people forced to live with one another, because when they apply to live in an apartment complex, they get put in with strangers.
Have different backgrounds and have never met before, being thrown together 4 at a time, living in a room. Obviously, there's going to be conflict there.
CBCR is the community-based crime reduction program developed by the Department of Justice to improve neighborhoods and the quality of life of residents.
And it's collaborative in nature, involving residents in the community, the Austin Police Department, the research team at the University of Texas, and the nonprofit sector and local and community leaders.
We are working to ensure that the people are put first.
The overarching goals of the program are to increase trust between residents and the police, reduce violent and property crime, improve community safety and engagement, and to position the neighborhood for revitalization.
The first year of this project is focused on data and research, and an important part of that is the input from the community.
We want to get people together to understand perceptions of crime, what the strengths are of the neighborhood, what are the challenges, and what can we do to work together to improve the quality of life in the neighborhood and to reduce the amount of crime that's taken place. The geographic boundaries of the area are Parker and Pleasant Valley to the west, Riverside and Lady Bird Lake to the north, Montopolis and the Dry Creek Bed to the east, and Oltorf to the south. The geographic location of Riverside Oltorf makes it a prime spot to engage in further development, and there are plans for that in the works. I think one of the challenges we're going to face that we've seen historically in Austin and other cities around the country is as we develop neighborhoods that aren't quite ready for it, gentrification is a potential challenge.
Measure is intentional about addressing the risk of gentrification. We want to work with partners and stakeholders in the community to find resources and protections against displacement.
As homeless individuals move into these new locations under the bridges and in the tunnels, they're more visible, there's more crime, and one of the challenges that we're going to face in Riverside Oltorf over the next 2-3 years is how to connect homeless individuals with the services that they need, how to reduce crime among this population, and how to make the neighborhood feel safer and look safer.
To have a successful community, it has to be a collaboration between the community and the police. The police aren't an outside force. They're not just security guards for the community. The police officers they're actual members of the community. They devote their time, their heart, their individual beings to serving their community.
It's always important for community members to be involved in police projects directed at increasing public safety in their neighborhoods.
If there's distrust, you're going to see an unhealthy community, right? You'll see either large amounts of violent crime or people just feeling unsafe with the people that are supposed to protect them. That's not healthy. Community engagement is a situation where the community and the police are working together to formulate those solutions.
As the project moves forward, we have to find ways to build trust and trustworthiness in the police department, between the police and the residents, so everyone can work together to mitigate crime.
We're all on the same team. We as the police shouldn't decide what they need. We should ask them what they think they need, and we should involve them in any plans that we create with them to help improve public safety in their neighborhoods.
Once you get to know your officers in your neighborhood, you'll feel safer reporting crime, you'll feel safer calling 911, and that's what we're here for as a department, is to protect the safety of the citizens.
Another great resource for the community in terms of collaborating with the police is through our district representative program. The district representatives are officers that are assigned to each region of the city, specifically to work on issues impacting that community. If there's a neighborhood who would like to see more lights on their block or better security at parks in the evening, they would reach out to their district representatives, and that DR would put them in touch with the city resources necessary to get those problems taken care of.
A lot of the issues in this area are fixable, but I think it's going to take a lot of work from a lot of people, and not just us.
If people have had less than great interactions with the police, we ask for a second chance. We ask that you engage with us, come out and talk to us at the community events. You'll find out that we're no different than anyone else. It's just our chosen profession that we have. And we all took this job to serve the public, and so we want to make sure that we continue to build on those relationships. We want to hear your concerns, even if your concerns are the way you may have been treated by an officer in the past. We want to hear that. We want to work through those problems. We want to fix that relationship and continue it on in a successful manner.
If there's enough hands in the same pot wanting to do the exact same thing and accomplish the same thing, I think it's achievable, and I think we can do it.